Hello and welcome to the StudyTravel TV studios in London. I'm Matthew Knott.
And I'm Nicola Hancox, bringing you the latest StudyTravel news stories.
The headlines this week: UK official data shows high student visa compliance.
St Giles International acquires school in Cambridge.
And Australia passes international education legislation.
So, the immigration debate in the UK has been reignited with the revelation that the government has been overestimating the number of students staying beyond their visas.
Yes, indeed it has. The UK government has commissioned its independent advisors on migration to complete a detailed assessment of the social and economic impact of international students in the UK after new Home Office exit data showed that more than 97% of non-EU students complied with their visa terms in leaving the country last year.
The figures are a significant contrast to the International Passenger Survey, or IPS-based statistics that the government has relied on for its migration data and targets, which have estimated that tens of thousands of non-EU students overstay their visa.
A separate study released by the Office of National Statistics examined long-term students whose visas expired in 2015-16 and 2016-17 and found that 90% and 95% respectively either left on time or received extension to remain in the UK.
Alistair Jarvis, Chief Executive of Universities UK, said the two official reports showed that there is very high visa compliance by international students and that it was crucial that UK visa policy was developed with robust data. In commissioning the impact study, Home Secretary Amber Rudd said the government understood how important international education exports were and wanted to have an independent evidence base of their impact.
Staying in the UK, language provider St Giles International has announced a new centre in Cambridge following the acquisition of New School of English, becoming the group's 8th year-round location.
St Giles said the New School of English had enjoyed a reputation for quality English language tuition since 1962 and that it was delighted to continue the tradition. CEO Mark Lindsay said opening a year-round centre in Cambridge had been a long-term ambition for the St Giles Group.
St Giles will undertake a full refurbishment of the 150 capacity school during the latter part of this year, and the centre will be rebranded as St Giles Cambridge from January 2018.
And down under, new legislation in Australia that aims to ensure providers are fit and proper and allows for information sharing on agents has been passed, replacing elements of 3 different acts to protect the quality of Australia's international education, according to the Department of Education and Training.
The new Act allows the Minister for Education and Training to set extra criteria that new providers must meet to be considered fit and proper, and means that registered providers must advise industry regulators when notifiable events occur, such as prospective changes to ownership and where a related person, a definition which includes partner agents, has been found guilty of a serious crime or had any regulatory action taken against them.
As reported previously, the legislation contains provisions that will allow the government to share information with providers on agent performance data, although this element of the Act is still under industry consultation and is expected to be introduced in late September.
We'd love to hear what agents think about that. Yeah. Do please get in touch. And now for a roundup of some of the other news stories this week. ELE USAL Gran Canaria will launch as a new Spanish language school for overseas students from October, operated by language provider Harvard Group and supported by the University of Salamanca.
Apollo Language Centre, a partner school of LAL in Ireland, has announced the addition of a 3rd Young Learner Summer School from the summer of 2018 at Sutton Park School.
Prodigy Finance, a provider of postgraduate loans to international students, is planning an expansion of its operations, particularly in the USA, following the announcement of $240 million of new funding.
And language school organisation Quality English has announced Wesley in Wisconsin, USA, and UK-based LSI Portsmouth as its latest licensee schools.
In our Grapevine photo gallery this week, you will find pictures from the New Zealand International Education Conference and a fam trip hosted by Marketing English in Ireland.
That's all for our news bulletin, sponsored this week by the Global Alliance of Education and Language Consultant Associations, or GALA.
And of course, StudyTravel Alpha UK and the StudyTravel Star Awards will take place this weekend, and we look forward to seeing many of you there. Are you all ready for that, Hanks?
No, I still don't have a dress.
Oh dear.
Thank you anyway for watching. We'll be back with more stories next week. Goodbye.
Goodbye.